Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, KiaSimone, and child, let's get into this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, where Marlo, Menace to Society Hampton, is raising absolute hell. Child, it's the time. Let's just get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And of course, I gotta shout out my super thanksers on Cash App. Thank you so much to Lakeisha Toussaint. I really appreciate you. And on Super Thanks, thank you so much to LL, Elijah's Mimi, Deborah Copeland, Treva Christian, and Yvette Greer. Thank y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now, let's get into this mess. So the episode opens up with Kenya and Mayetta together rehearsing for a college football halftime show that Kenya is going to be in. She's going to participate with the marching band and the dance team, and she thinks this is going to be the viral moment that's going to take Kenya Moore hair care over the edge. I think not. She's also rehearsing because she doesn't want a repeat of her BravoCon moment where apparently she was on stage being Beyonce and she failed. Then we have to sit through this cringy FaceTime call between Kenya and her new Vanilla Ice. She misses him and she's telling in the confessional how he's good and bad. Girl, first of all, that's not something you should be sharing with the public. Keep what your man does to you and for you to your damn self. That's how curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity, I have them heifers throwing the cat. Kenya said, yeah, she got a new man, and no, she ain't quite divorced. She tired of playing with Mark. She trying to get her coffee stirred while it's hot. So we move on and we go to Sanya's house where she's having a meeting with her mom and her sister about the business of Sanya. Well, her brother-in-law, her sister's husband, is also her assistant, and we see her having a phone call with him during this meeting where she's asking him about errands he's running and things that are not done on the checklist, and you can see her sister looking like, I know you don't think you're gonna run my damn husband harder than I do. Sanya said having her brother-in-law as her assistant has been a little more difficult than she anticipated because there are always these blurred lines when it comes to work and family. And sometimes he has to do things that might make him a little bit uncomfortable, but she ain't all that worried about it because who he gonna complain to? She is HR. We'll see. So they're going over Sanya's schedule and what she has upcoming. And Sanya announces to her sister that, yeah, me and my husband were talking and Ross is ready for us to be a single family in our house again. You can tell her sister is kind of caught off guard and a little bit hurt. And Sanya's trying to tell her that it's not personal at all. But in the confessional, her sister and her mom are saying that all of them living together allow Sanya and Ross to move pretty freely without having to worry about their son. Her mama and her sister also agree that she's not necessarily selfish, but she's self-centered. Sanya's sister Shed said, let me rally up my damn troops and get on up out your house. Cause see, Her mom said, well, don't take it personal. And Sanya said, I don't want you to take it personal. I don't want to hurt your feelings. And she said, I mean, how can I not take it personal? And I think part of the problem might be that they seem to have had some agreement that the whole family would stay together for, I think, a year or two. And I don't know how far they are into that agreement. And here they come announcing that Ross wants his house to himself and he wants everybody out. And the fact that she mentioned that all of them staying together allows them to move freely in regard to worrying about their son. It might kind of give the feeling that now that you don't really need us, we can get up out your way. So we move on and we go to Marlo having a photo shoot for Halloween with her nephews that ends up being a candy bashing session. What in the hell? So Marlo's sister Crystal stops by and Marlo starts explaining to her that what she's working on is getting her record expunged so that she can regain her right to bear arms, because she lost that right 20 some odd years ago when she caught that charge when she, sexually violent. She said especially after the break-in that happened at her house, she wants to get her record expunged so that she can regain her right to bear arms and so that she can tell these ladies go to hell when they throw her past in her face. So Marlo explains that old Tear the Club Up Courtney connected her with an attorney who's actually going to help her with getting her record expunged. So she's telling her sister that Courtney is going to come by the photo shoot today, so hopefully you'll get to meet her. And that's what I be telling you, girl, get good friends, because I just met her and she's trying to help me get my record expunged. But I've known Candy for years and Candy ain't never tried to help me get my record expunged. What? Just how in the single black female does everything route back to Kandi with you? I do not understand. So just then Courtney comes walking in and Marlo is, oh, I was just bragging on you. So Courtney's in the confessional advertising herself about, you know, yes, I can be a real life Olivia Pope as a crisis manager. I said, I know you a damn lie. After you started all that shit, you created crisis at somebody else's party and got the nerve to tell us she was a damn crisis manager. Take this crisis and go to hell. As a crisis manager, she feels like everyone deserves a fresh start. And Marlo made a mistake over 20 years ago. And if there's anything she can do to help Marlo, she certainly will. Could you help her get out our face? So Marlo brings up the whole aftermath of the Candace concert where Drew barely sang a thing. And she's explaining to her sister who wasn't there that she was triggered when they were having this whole conversation about the shooting at Old Lady Gang. That leads her into explaining how everything is Kandi's fault, child. So Marlo starts telling the story that when they had her nephew's funeral, she reached out to Kandi. And they showed the screenshot of the text where she texts Kandi and said, are you aware of a Quentin so-and-so who was working for you at Old Lady Gang? Kandi texts back and says, I'm not sure, but I'll check. Marlo says, please do. Kandi does and said, yes, but he's not working there anymore. So Marlo texts her back and said, wow, that was my nephew. He was unalived last night. Kandi texts her back and said, oh, really? What? How? Marlo responds to Kandi and says his mom said he worked there and he was pow-pow by his roommate twice. Kandi responds and said, damn, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, the way Marlo is telling the story is, I text Kandi and told her my nephew got unalived and she said, oh, sorry to hear that. Like, that's not what happened. So Marlo's in the confessional saying that her nephew was so excited to have been working at Old Lady Gang and it was just so bothersome to her over the years that Kandi never sent flowers to his services. She just felt like Kandi never acknowledged it. So Marlo some kind of way segues that into her thing with Drew is just hold Kandi accountable. Like, why do these chitty chitty bang bangs keep happening at Old Lady Gang? Like, explain it. Listen, I am very sorry for Marlo and her family's loss, but this is a go-go gadget reach. I mean, I can get if you say we know each other personally and she should have acknowledged my family's loss and bereavement in some way, shape, or form. I get that. But when you have to ask Kandi to check to see if this person worked for you, you know that Kandi does not know this person by name or recognize this name immediately. And then you find out that the person does not work for her anymore. Like, what did you expect? But Marlo and Courtney are going back and forth about, you know, why are these things happening at her places? You know, maybe it's the culture she creates. You know, she just got finished calling her ghetto. And in the meantime, Marlo's sister Crystal is genuinely triggered. And that's what happens when you decide to play with these kinds of things as bait for battle on a TV show, is that you really trigger your family members who have to relive this stuff. And Marlo's in the confessional talking about how her family is still sour with the taste of Kandi's name. We just wanted her to acknowledge his passing. Yes, girl, why is Kandi the one person in the world you have decided is your arch nemesis over the passing of your nephew? This is giving I hate you on a whole lot of levels, and I ain't got to make it make sense. So then Marlo brought up how Kandi threw her past in her face when she brought up that they should be able to discuss the incident that happened at her restaurant. She said, you know, she talked about, well, let's talk about the girl who you slashed in the face. And that was over 20 years ago. And her sister said, I mean, that's something you have to live with. And you're right about that. Marlo said it is something that she has to live with. It's something that she regrets, that she wakes up from dreams about, and that the young lady passed away years after the incident that happened between the two of them. Well, if you want grace for actually physically attacking and deforming someone, why do you think you get to hold a grudge against Kandi for not sending flowers? Marlo works my nerves with that whole victim act. We're supposed to forgive everything you've done and expunge your record while you keep your size 12 stiletto on somebody's neck. So they finished her makeup, made her look as soulless as she acts, and we move on to being knee-deep in Sheree's business, literally. We go with Sheree to a doctor to see about her fibroids. She said she's been having some issues and some discomforts from her fibroids, but more than anything, they seem to be interrupting her sex life. She said, have you seen my man? Girl, have you seen your man? Have you seen him? She said he has a big energy. Do you know who he's bottled this big energy up and pouring it out to? So the doctor comes in and goes over all of Sheree's treatment options with her. Sheree said all she knows is she wants whatever's going to get her back in commission the fastest. She got to be able to go see a man by the dog. So we move on and we see that Sonia is going to a photo shoot for her family. She's accompanied by her mom and dad. Well, her sister normally does her hair, but her sister called out sick today. She said her sister ain't sick, she's just sick of her. Sonia explained to her parents that she doesn't know if she used enough care when she announced that Ross wants them to get the hell out, because not only did her sister call out sick, her damn husband quit. Her mama is shocked and her daddy don't look a damn bit surprised. Her mama said, well, did I do something? What did he say? She said, well, he did say being around me and you is getting to be too much with all the girl energy. And her daddy is just sitting over there laughing and shaking his head like, yeah, I know. He said, but I'm ready, willing, and able to step up and do whatever y'all need. Yeah, I know can't nobody handle y'all but me. Sonia's mom said she didn't know he was that upset, but she did realize he stopped responding to emails in a timely fashion. Yeah, that's red flag number 1, 2, 3, and 10. Okay, when we stop responding to the emails in a timely fashion, that is professional for kiss my. Sonia became really tearful, explaining that she always felt like because she was blessed with so many opportunities, she always wanted to open up as many of those opportunities as she could to her family, including moving to Atlanta. But this has seemed to put a whole lot of strain on her relationship with her sister, and she herself is pretty damn tired of working with family. So we move on and we see everybody getting together for Kenya's road trip to Alabama. They're all meeting at Sheree's house, and half these heifers is sick. Kenya pulls up hacking and coughing. Ew. So we see Kenya and her cough. Sheree, because it's her house. Courtney, I don't know who invited her. And then Monyetta. Kenya said, all right, it's time to go. They said, but ain't Marlo on the way? Kenya says, time to go. They said, well, hold on, where is Drew? Courtney said, well, her new cousin texted her and told her that she had the flu. Kenya said, well, oh, I forgot y'all family. How y'all related again? Oh, I don't know. No. You gonna explain this to some damn body. Damn cousin face popping up out of nowhere. At least Drew had the decency to stay home with all her damn disease and dysfunction. Candy ain't coming because she got prior engagements where they must have gave her a better paycheck. So Marlo finally shows up. You know, she like to think she's fashionably late. Well, now they can finally get on the road and they're all excited about how lit this weekend is gonna be, and Kenya gonna be in the parade and child. Now on the way to Alabama is when we realize that Marlo done brought a damn hack with her too. Why is all y'all coughing and sick around this? So Kenya's going over the itinerary and telling them how she has some dance class planned for them. Sonia is letting her know, I'll be here for some of this, but not all of this, because I got real jobs. I'm going to be doing some commentating for NBC, but I'll be back. So while Kenya's going over the itinerary, she springs on them that, yeah, there's this charity event tonight. So we're going to be going to that after we go to this dance class and dinner. Hope y'all are ready. Marlo said, I don't think I brought any charity clothes. And in the confessional, she said, leave it to Kenya to surprise us with something. But you know what? I'm not even worried about the dress code because this is Birmingham. Girl, they gonna whoop your ass. Now, while they going back and forth about the itinerary and the dress code, they just hacking and coughing, and Sheree said, sound like we in a damn hospital. Sonia said, I don't know what's worse. Kenya coughing in my face or Marlo sitting behind me hacking. Girl, oh my God, they'd have had to stop the bus and let me off. Call me a damn Uber. So then somehow they segue into a whole conversation about relationships and eating. When I tell you they can go to theater hell, I don't know what in the Bravo After Dark this bullshit is supposed to be, but I don't want it. So they make it to Alabama, they go to their dance class, and of course it turns into, it's gonna be a contest to see who gets what room. Y'all get on my nerves with this. Marlo said she thought this was supposed to be a group event, but now Kenya and her emotional support companion, Monyetta, are judging a dance contest. Girl, she called that damn girl an emotional support companion. Marlo has to be stopped. So they do do the little dance contest. And listen, let me tell you, I tell y'all, Marlo works my nerves, but Marlo works that body, okay? Marlo was serving body. And in my opinion, Marlo actually performed the best, but you know, Kenya wasn't having that. So Marlo did not win the prize. She gave it to Sheree. Even Sonya says Sheree and her 2 left feet, how the hell did Sheree win? So they leave the dance rehearsal and they go to lunch. Well, while they're at lunch, Courtney gets a call from her baby daddy, who supposedly ain't her man, but he wants to know when she gonna be home. Girl, they start talking about who her baby daddy is. And Kenya starts, well, you know, I've only known one Bryce and he was in a 3-person music group. Courtney said, yeah, that's him. Here Kenya go, oh my God, we did a movie together. This about to be that Christopher Williams shit all over again. This time, please don't go trying to fight that man wife, Kenya. So production asked Kenya, have you ever dated Bryce? Kenya said no shade, but he was a beautiful man in the 90s. And I'll leave it at that. What the hell that mean? What you saying? He was fine then, but he ain't now? Like you slept with him then, but you wouldn't sleep with him now? Like what is you saying? So then Kenya brought up the whole clash between Marlo and Drew that happened after the concert and immediately pissed Marlo off. So Kenya starts trying to give the version of events that she was given, which is that Marlo was very upset with Drew. Marlo said, but Kenya, you weren't even there, so how you know what was going on between me and Drew? Kenya said, hold on, chill out now, because see, you're talking over me. Don't be rude. Marlo said, I don't give a damn about talking over you. Rude? These motherfuckers hired me to be rude. She said, who is you to not be rude too? Now, here's my thing with Marlo. You were so triggered and so upset by this particular issue. And as soon as you have the attention of the entire group who's willing to discuss exactly what you were upset about, you pissed off and want to shut the conversation down. So do you really have a concern that you want to discuss, or do you just want to drag Candy? Marlo is going on about, well, if you weren't there, you don't know what happened. Kenya said, well, I was told what happened by somebody. It happened too. And there were a whole bunch of people who were there with camera phones and all kinds of measures of evidence of the bullshit you did. But what Drew said is that Marlo was very aggressive and that she was standing over her in her face. Marlo said, no, I wasn't. So they show a clip of Marlo sitting down listening to Drew talk, and Marlo's in the confessional saying, I was upset with Drew, but I was not aggressive and I was not standing over Drew. Well, here's how this is absolute manipulation, because we know that this is not the moment that Drew is talking about. We know that Drew is referring to the moment where Marlo lost her shit, jumped up and went in Drew's face, towering over her about my nephew's dead, bitch. That's what she's talking about. Cut the shit. So Sonya is trying to gently point out to Marlo that this is your opportunity to talk about the thing that you said triggered you. Marlo said, well, you know why I'm upset. So if you want to talk on my behalf, you can, but I'm just going to be quiet for the rest of the day. Kenya said, you can. Shit, you can leave. We don't need you here. Marlo said, see, that's your problem. You like to try to run everybody. You got in charge issues. One thing Marlo will do is put some damn words together to get her point across, because in charge issues? So Kenya and Marlo going back and forth at the table. Kenya is telling Marlo she just talking to hear herself, and Marlo telling her, well, you just as crazy as me because you responding. Kenya said, yeah, and you know what? When a clown invites you to the circus and you get to arguing with that clown, everybody's a clown. That ain't quite the saying, but I get your drift. Marlo said, well, at my circus, we be lit. And they get lit enough to just move on. They get drunk as hell at the table, and they decide it's time to go back to wherever their accommodations are and get dressed for the next event. So they get to the hotel, they're all checking into their rooms, and Sheree gets into the room that she twerked her ass off for, and when she could see the entire room from the front door, she was pissed. She said Kenya is the hostess with the leastest, and Marlo was in her room saying the kicker for her was this miniature bottle of champagne she had in the room. Girl. Now, Kenya, it was very low budget. So they're all getting dressed for the charity event that was sprung on them on the way to Birmingham. And Monyetta comes downstairs dressed in a silver romper. And Kenya is pissed. Monyetta, that outfit is inappropriate. Do you not have anything else you can put on? I know you lying. And Kenya's in the confessional, just so offended. We're going to a charity event, not a strip club. Well, they didn't know they was going a damn place. You ain't had no business telling these people on the road, on the way that, hey, I have a whole charity event you all have to be ready for. Unless you had wardrobe there waiting for them, you gonna get whatever the hell these people give you. And karma's so damn quick. Kenya walked outside right into her own inappropriate moment where her dress blew all the way up and we saw whatever kind of damn butt pad she had on, cause girl. So we see Kenya, Sheree, and Courtney get on the bus. Monyetta calls Kenya and say, hey, you know what? I just remembered that I have a black dress in my luggage. I'm gonna go upstairs and change. Kenya is pissed again. You know what, Monyetta? We don't have time. You're going to just have to meet us there. Didn't you just ask this lady if she had something else she could put on? I would put my foot up your ass. That's what I got to put on. Kenya pissed me off. And Kenya's going on and on in the confessional about how, as a special invited guest to this event for this HBCU, it's important that she's there on time. And she's not going to let these ladies make her late because they're inconsiderate. Well, inconsideration begets inconsideration. Because if you didn't tell me we were going to a charity event, don't expect me to have charity wardrobe. So they arrive at the venue. Monyetta said it took her no time to change, and she arrived in separate transportation at the same time as them. So Kenya is talking about how the dress code for this event is cocktail and fashion forward, and I'll be damned if they didn't walk into the damn hole in the wall. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a modern enough venue, but I know you lying. This looked like about 9:30 on a Friday night at the Legion where all the vets hang out at. Child, I just, They walked in and Sheree told Monyetta, girl, you could have kept your booty shorts on. So they all standing around looking like we don't know what to do with ourselves. Random people walking up about, can we take a picture? And, ooh, this is my son. I just wanted you to meet him. Sheree said, well, we dropped off at the right place because this absolutely cannot be the upscale event that Kenya been carrying on about. They don't have no special seating for them. They got to go find a table to stand at. Kenya is asking random people, can you stop filming, ma'am? Child, this is so low budget. Kenya, who the hell is doing your bookings? Do you have a rider? Like, what is this? So then we see Sonya and Marlo arrive together, and Marlo must have known from the minute she walked in this ain't my kind of party. She went straight to the bar. Ma'am, could you please tell me how I can get a bottle and some sparklers to let the people know that we've arrived? Because, I mean, what is this? So Sonya sees all her castmates over at a table standing around, and she walks over and she said, Kenya, you really did leave me. Kenya, I gave y'all an extra 40 minutes. Girl, you be lying. So Marlo walks over and Marlo said, well, did you try to text me? Kenya said, I ain't got your number, girl. Sonya said in the confessional, I know she ain't cracking whips and leaving folks for this. She said all the building up she did for this. I thought we were going to the Met Gala and this is where you left us to go. So Kenya takes the group of ladies and says, let's go get a table upstairs. They have a really cute view here. They go sit upstairs and the producer pulls Kenya aside and said, hey, I need to talk to you for a second. So yeah, this is so-and-so's party and they want y'all gone. Apparently, they felt like the ladies were too much of a distraction, that all of the people were focused on them and not the festivities, you know, with them being housewives and the drinks and the cameras and the sparklers. And I know you lying. Whoever the promoter is for this event is a damn fool. I want you to know, henceforth now and forevermore, you's a damn fool. That's not how you handle that. When you have some sort of talent that you've either booked or has spontaneously showed up in your lap, what you do is you get on social media or you have people in your network who have a social media presence and you announce that you have so-and-so at your venue and you put somebody at the door who is going to collect the money for the people who are going to pay the cover charge to come in there. And then after they pay the cover charge to come in there, do you know what they normally do? Exactly what Marlo did. They walk straight up to the bar and spend some more money. You just sent a bunch of money walking out the door. Are you crazy? So Kenya is in the confessional and all her delusion about production got kicked out. Not me. But, you know, since my name is attached to it, it's still pretty embarrassing. But she trotted her ass back over to that table and told the ladies, we gotta go. Marlo said this ain't nothing but karma for Kenya since she been trying to control us all day and you been leaving people and putting people out. Yeah, now your ass is kicked out. They said they ain't worrying about it. They've been kicked out of better places than me too. Marlo said she don't give a damn about them putting people out. She done paid for a bottle. She is gonna have her drink in her damn two-step and she was wearing the hell out that dress. So I understand. Y'all gonna catch me in this motherfucker. So since they got kicked out, party over, and they go back to the hotel. Well, that was right up Kenya's alley. Kenya said, good night, ladies. I'll see y'all at the game tomorrow. They all looking around like, bitch, I know you lying. We got on whole outfits and wigs and all kind of you gonna entertain us. Marlo said, Kenya ain't new to this. She's true to this. This is just how she gets down, because she did this in South Carolina when she called herself locking herself in the room with her baby. And she did this when they went to the mountains and called herself getting a separate house. So Sheree makes the suggestion, y'all, let's go to her room. So the whole group of them goes up to Kenya's door and they start knocking. So Sheree knocks first, and she knocks like a normal person. Marlo walks over and starts kicking the damn door. I said, just what in the police raid is wrong with Marlo? So Sheree follows Marlo up, and she knocks again, but harder this time. Sonya comes over and she starts knocking like a normal person. Then Marlo rotates in and starts beating on the door about Kenya Moore, and Kenya Moore came roaring out. Kenya couldn't get that damn door open fast enough. Kenya said, who's knocking on my goddamn door? So even after Kenya opened the door, Marlo is still beating on the door about, Summer, Summer. Kenya said, my daughter's in here. Get out here, you psycho fucking asshole. So Sonya said, listen, she said her daughter's in there, so we're not going to do that. Just leave her alone. Marlo said, I don't give a damn. That's an excuse. She full of shit. Put Brooklyn in another room and come on with your broke ass. Girl, what? And the episode comes to an end with Kenya saying, I'm going to call the damn police. I can't take it, child. And it looks like the madness and mayhem carries right on into next week, because it's going to go from Marlo versus Kenya to Marlo versus Monyetta. And I don't think Monyetta's what you want. But that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no damn more. Thank you so much for coming down here listening to me and letting me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.